Okay, now that we have the entire bottom two layers solved with the exception of our working column and corner, we're just going to move on to the white cross. Okay, so what it's going to eventually look like once we solve it is the entire bottom two layers solved except for our working column and then a white cross on top, just like we got a yellow cross to begin with. Okay? So, in order to do this, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get 3 good white edges facing up. Now what I mean by this is a piece that looks like this. Now this is the blue and white piece, and this is a good white edge because the white is facing up to the top of the cube. Now this right here, for example, is a bad white edge because this green is facing up rather than the white. So we want to get it so that the whites are facing up, at least 3. So we want 3 up, and then we're going to have 1 in the holster. Now this is the holster right here. So right now we have a red and a white in the holster. Now, the only 2 ways you can turn the cube for this step, you can turn it this way, and you can turn it this way. Okay? So the 2 ways are this way and this way. Those are the only 2 ways. Now once you turn it this way, you can spin it around as many times as you want and pull it back down, as long as you pull it back down. As many times as you want, you can turn it that way, as long as you pull it back down. That's the most important thing. So keep that in the back of your head. Once you turn it up, you got to turn it back down. Those are the only 2 ways. Okay. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to try to get the 3 good white edge pieces up. They can be any 3, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you have 3. So, what we're going to do is we have one right here. Now we're going to want to push this white so it's facing up. So, if we turn it this way, it's going to be a bad white edge piece. So we don't want to do that. We want to turn it this way so that it's going to be facing up, right? So, what we're going to do is you always want to push a good white edge piece out of the way. So this is going to be right here. So it was right here. We want to turn this white edge piece so that we can push it out of the way when we turn this up. So you turn it towards this white edge piece. So when we turn it up, it goes out of the way. So we turn it up. And now what we're going to want to do is, since we turned it up this way, we're going to want to slide a bad white edge piece into this spot right here. Now, when we look, we see that this right here is a bad white edge piece. So, we turn this up, we slide it into place, into the holster, and we pull it back down to regain the cross. Okay? So now we have 2 good white edges up. So basically what we did was we started right here. We saw that we had a good white edge piece, we turned it over, pushed it out of the way, slid the bad white edge piece into the holster, and pulled it back down. So now we have 2 good white edge pieces and 1 in the holster. That can be a good white edge piece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look and we just want to get this up to the top. Alright? So we're going to push a good white edge piece out of the way, and so we look and we see which way would it push so that this would become a good white edge piece. If we push it this way, it's not going to be one because the green would be up. So that means we're going to have to push it this way. Alright? So what we're going to do is we're going to push a good white edge piece out of the way and then pull a bad white edge piece. And that is the only remaining one. So we're going to want to slide that over. So we pushed it up. We're going to want to slide the bad white edge piece into the holster and pull it back down to regain the cross. Okay? So now we have 3 up. Now, what we want to do is we want 2 that are going to line up correctly with the centerpiece and 1 that will be wrong. So when we slide it around, we look and see that we have all 3 sides just happen to line up. We have 3 right edges up because the white is facing up and they all align. So now what we're going to do is we want to push one out of the way. So usually what we're looking for is 2 right and 1 wrong. So in this situation we have 3 right, and I mean they line up. So 3 right. So we're just going to push a random one out of the way. So we'll just push that right edge out of the way and just switch another over and pull another random one down. So now we look and we see that none of these edges, when we turn it around, only one of them lines up every time. Right? Okay, so that means that none of those edges work. We want 2 right and 1 wrong. One that does not match the middle. So now we're just going to push another random one out of the way and pull a random one down. and then we'll look and see that we have 2 right and 1 wrong, so now we want to, or 1 wrong, so now we want to push the wrong one out of the way. And then we pull the blank one back into the holster and we have the cross solved.